Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here to share with you all new lesbian couples that I will highly recommend you all to go ahead, go watch, go follow in this year of 2026. But before we break down the list, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. So we're gonna start off with the story of Maive and Sophia on the, soap opera slash telenovela that is called Shortland Street. The story of Maive and Sophia developed recently during Sophia's arrival in the Fairland in the 2026, hospital as a new doctor. Her path quickly crosses with Maive, an established doctor at the hospital who had recently returned to the hospital after a period of personal turmoil, including the tragic loss of her son and also, the very complicated, situation with her ex, long-term partner, Nicole. Also, Maive is finally, giving herself another opportunity to possibly open herself for another future love. Because if you guys know Maive's story and you guys have been following her for this, last years, you know that she definitely been through a lot. So Sophia is like a brief air. If you guys don't know, Sophia is very persistent, in having Maive, give her an opportunity. Obviously, she doesn't force things. She's genuinely just letting things develop. But, I'm definitely here for them. I will be keeping you guys updated regarding their story, their relationship, because definitely it's giving what it's supposed to give. Then moving forward, we have Pura Sanre, Alicia and Miranda. Yes, the story develops in the Spanish series. Alicia is a police officer in the civil guard, investigating a case at a family estate, in this case at Miranda's family estate. She is openly a lesbian. At the start of the series, she plans to undergo artificial insemination in order to become a mother. On the other hand, Miranda, she begins the series married to Jacobo, who lies, and also is a very terrible husband. Eventually, the truth comes to light. The two starts to get close to one another and end up having a one-night stand that basically changes, their whole storyline together. Obviously, they don't end up being a couple, but they do develop, an emotional connection towards one another, especially for Miranda, who's going through a lot when it comes to her family when she found out the reality of things, and also Alicia embarking on this new journey of her actually becoming a mother. So very, very, very interesting plot. Is definitely one of the ones that I will highly recommend you also go ahead, go watch, go follow, and go support. Then moving forward, we have Scarpetta, in this case Lucy and Janet. In the 2026 series, Lucy and her late wife Janet centers on a controversial and high-tech form of, grieving heartbreak by Janet's Park's passing. Tech genius Lucy activates an advanced AI program that Janet had been working on before she passed away. This grief, both Janet's likeness, voice, and controversial path, allowing Lucy to continue their relationship through video calls, basically throughout live streaming. Lucy lives in her aunt's, Key's guest house and spends her day talking to her AI version of Janet. This behavior causes significant concern and tension with Lucy's family and also with herself. Also, later on, she ends up meeting somebody that, just wants her to see things for what they really are and not for what they want them to be. Obviously, at the end of the series, you guys know what happened if you followed it. And I also feel like the way her situation ended with the person that she was, that she met, the police officer, also ended in a very different way. So if there's a season two, hopefully we will get a little bit more of answer regarding the situation. And then moving forward, we have the movie called Accused. The plot centers Dr. Dreka and her lover Mira. So basically, Dr. Dreka is a brilliant but, also very, different doctor in London who is on the verge of being named the hospital's youngest dean. She lives a seemingly perfect life with her wife, Dr. Mira, who is also building a name for herself in the medical field. Getika is forced to step down temporarily and her professional reputation collapses, and the public, her past interactions also putting her relationship with her partner, to the test. As her partner, in this case, Mira, she ends up hiring a private detective in order to follow her around to see if she is actually cheating on her, because this whole accusations that, Getika is facing is, basically causing a lot of uncertainty in their relationship as well, especially as they are embarking on a journey, to step away from the city that they currently live in and also adopting a child. So there is just a whole lot that they are going through. And obviously, at the end of the movie, I have to say that despite, the ups and downs that the couple went through, despite, they're not seeing eye to eye, they actually do have a happy ending. And I really feel like that is the most important part of, story, the fact that they could overcome the differences and also stick together. And then we have one of my personal favorites, That Night is also a series. The relationship between Paula and Louisa serves as a major emotional subplot within the border family thriller, while the main plot focuses on the sisters' attempt to cover up a crime in the Dominican Republic. Paula's impulsive, her struggle to maintain her relationship with Louisa provide deeper psychological portrait of character. Eventually, Louisa had to choose between herself and the problematic family of Paula. Even though she wanted to be with Paula and, just continue building their family together, she ended up realizing if she stays in this relationship, she will just join herself even more. And that in this case, Paula, she would never, ever, ever, ever choose her over her family, despite she knowing that her family is only joining her down. Very interesting plot. The ending of the series definitely surprised me. I definitely thought they would reconnect later in life, but unfortunately that didn't happen. And I cannot even be mad for the fact that that didn't happen, because you can see that even after all these years, Paula still decided to go by her ways, because she always has prioritized her family. And Louisa had to choose her own personal happiness as well and step away from the person that she loves in order, to heal and also find herself. Very, very interesting plot that is available to watch on Netflix, so go watch. And then we have The Best Day. So this one is a translation name. It's actually, if I'm not mistaken, a European series, and I couldn't, pronunciate the name, so I just had to put the translation version. It is a comedy. The film segment follows the story between Sonia and Daniela. Sonia is an entrepreneur who had been married for 25 years and lives seemingly a stable life. The woman begins to feel a strong attraction towards her assistant Daniela, who has, a much more spontaneous and emotional approach towards life. Daniela actually has a girlfriend, and they are in a complicated relationship with a lot of roller coaster rides. Daniela demands a real and honest, in this case, presence from Sonia that also ends up also complicating their relationship even more. To be honest, they are actually really, really good together, and the ending of the movie definitely surprised me, because if you guys don't know, the movie is divided into 4 parts, and it being divided into four parts, you can see different dynamics from different, situations, and also, the interaction and the chemistry between Sonia and Daniela as well. I definitely enjoyed watching this movie a lot. It's one to watch. I had to watch it with translation. So if you guys have watched it as well and you have your opinion on it, please let me know down below in the comments. But yes, definitely one that, I would say, hey, you're missing out on it if you are not watching it. It's available to watch on Prime Video, but obviously it will depend on your location and where you are, available. Yes, guys, that's basically it. This is the new couples that I would highly recommend watching. Even though the last couple is not a new couple, it's a couple that I recently came, along with. But for me, if I haven't watched it, it's new, and hopefully you guys can also have your own personal opinion regarding that. Thank you so much for all the love and all the support. I hope I see you guys again at the next video, and I hope you all have enjoyed this one, and goodbye.